guys, as of this week, I am officially embarking on a little fat loss journey. Last week I told you guys that I was thinking about starting this, but I wasn't sure if my body was metabolically in a good enough place for me to actively try to lose fat. So all of last week, I spent tracking my macros while eating intuitively. And then over the course of the week, I took the average. And if anyone else is looking to start a fat loss journey, I highly encourage you to do this, to evaluate what your current maintenance calories are. Because you do not want to start out a cut if your maintenance calories are already too low to be healthy, or if the calories you would have to cut on are going to be too low to be healthy, or if the calories you're going to cut on are just going to be too low and you're going to feel super restricted and uncomfortable eating that little, and you know it's going to turn into a negative relationship with food. And if you end up finding out that you are eating too little, that's when you're going to want to reverse diet before you start a cut. Because if you start off a cut when you're already eating too little, that's when things go horribly wrong. You tank your metabolism, you potentially develop a bad relationship with food, you end up stuck having to eat unhealthfully low calories just to maintain weight, or you end up putting all the weight right back on because you can't sustain so few calories, and that's when you end up having to pay someone like me, holistic fitness coach, to help dig you out of that hole that you put yourself in. Speaking of which, if any of you are in that hole, I just opened up 2 new spaces for clients, so if you're interested in applying, I will leave the info down in the description box below. So anyway, I spent all of last week evaluating my current metabolic rate based on what I eat intuitively to maintain weight. So I was debating whether or not to share the actual numbers with you guys because I am a small person, so by default, I need to eat less than the average person because I am smaller than the average person. And so I don't want anyone thinking, oh, this is what Marissa's eating, this is what I need to eat. Like, no, you probably need to be eating more than I am eating. I am small. So as long as we're clear on that, I will show you guys my numbers. So about a year ago now, I created this super cool tool that I call the Macro Averager, and it is available for download if you guys want to use this. Also, I'll leave the link for that in the description, but I use it to be able to evaluate weekly averages for macros. So in this case, it came in super handy because I didn't want to, try to hit anything consistently day to day. So I'm gonna show you guys what my average macros looked like for my maintenance week. You can see on day 1, I ate 1679 calories, then 1900, 2000, 1791, and then the last 3 days I was a little bit hungrier because I assumed the first few days I was eating a little bit on average under maintenance, so I ate 2250-ish, 2387, and then 2662, and this comes out to an average of 2100 calories for the week to theoretically maintain weight. You can ignore the goal column in this, I just put in pretty much random numbers. So you can see that for my macros, I averaged about 85 grams of protein, about 200 grams of carbs, and about 110 grams of fat. And this kind of just tells me that I'm naturally spreading out my macros pretty well. Like when I eat intuitively, I'm not severely undereating or overeating any particular macro. I think 2100 calories is a pretty solid starting point for my cut as my maintenance calories. So later on in the video, I will take you guys through my calorie and macro goals for this cut, but for now, I want to kick off my day with a little something that I have been starting my day with lately, and that is a nice warm cup of bone broth. My new favorite thing is to, first thing in the morning, get my nice warm cup of bone broth, come sit outside and enjoy the fresh air and the sunshine. If there's no sunshine, then I'm sad and I usually don't do it. So it's breakfast time, and today I honestly feel like having pancakes. I haven't had pancakes in the longest time, but my body is just like, Marissa, eat the pancakes. But you know me, if we're having pancakes, we're having special pancakes. So I'm using the Birch Benders Paleo Pancake Mix. This is one of my favorite gluten-free pancake mixes to use. And then I think the instructions just call for adding water or something. But instead of water, I like to add almond milk. And then I also like to add an egg. I feel like it makes the texture just a little bit more pancakey. And then I want some protein involved. And you guys know me, I don't usually have protein powder, but we're having pancakes. So we're gonna add some protein powder. And I have this new protein powder from SIGMATIC, and I am so stoked about it because these ingredients are like everything I dream of in a protein powder. So first of all, it's an amazing combination of a bunch of different plant-based proteins, which is great because a lot of plant-based proteins are just one, but since it's plant-based, you aren't getting the full spectrum of amino acids unless you add a bunch. So we have pea, hemp, chia, and pumpkin seed protein. And of course, you guys know me, it has this long list of adaptogens. That's always gonna make me happy, but my favorite thing is look at the rest of these ingredients. There are no gums and no fillers, literally nothing extra whatsoever. No sugar alcohols, no artificial sweeteners either. It's just sweetened with palm sugar and monk fruit, and it's just, ugh, this is the dream. If I could make a protein powder, this is what I would make. The rule I've kind of been trying to set for myself in this deficit is that if I'm gonna eat, I wanna have a source of protein and a source of veggies with the meal. So like no matter what I eat, I need protein and veggies. We're not doing that today. That's why I added the protein powder, because I want to get that source of protein. But I think I'm just gonna plan on having a giant salad for dinner, and that'll make up for the lack of veggies for this morning. But I'm very excited to try this protein powder in the pancakes because it's also chocolatey, so it's gonna make them chocolate pancakes, which is just, what more could you ask for? If you guys want to try this protein powder, as always, you can use my code FITAndNerdy to get yourself 15% off of any SIGMATIC product. But if you, like me, are trying to do a little bit of a cut for summer, need some extra protein to supplement with just in case you can't get it one day, I recommend. Look like much because they're just regular old chocolatey brown pancakes, but I am very excited. I ended up adding a smidge of baking soda just to make them puffier, and I think it was successful. I also grabbed myself a kombucha. As you guys know, can't go a day without kombucha. These honestly turned out better than I thought they would for protein pancakes. The batter was a little bit protein powdery, like the aftertaste tasted like protein powder, but now that they're cooked, they just kind of taste like healthy chocolate pancakes. Okay, this breakfast is a lot more filling than I thought it would be. That or like something's wrong with me. But I'm like really full already. I'm gonna finish it because like I'm not gonna put myself in even more of a deficit than I need to be, but strangely satiating. It could be because kombucha is bubbly and bubbly things make me very full, but like, oh great. Not being hungry on a cut, oh, that's a good feeling. I am about to do a workout, so I thought I would bring you guys along. Today's workout is going to be a lower body workout, and I've decided to change things up just a little bit, add some fun elements to it. I'm adding some weight in the form of laundry detergent, not sponsored by Everspring. But I figured it'd just be fun to like spice things up and do different kinds of exercises. I don't know, we'll see how this goes. I have never trained with laundry detergent before.
Why do I feel like I linger between the words to say the words to remember. Now we're here to take control over your body and over your soul. We're gonna take back everything and lose it all, lose it all, lose it all. Feel it in your arms, feel it in your legs, feel it on your fingertips and feel it in your head. Just let your body go, just let your body go, just let your body go and move to the rhythm.
That workout was actually harder than expected. I don't know exactly what it was. Maybe it's because I've been in a deficit for like 2 days and so I'm a little bit weaker, but it felt like a really good workout. So I am pretty pleased at the effectiveness of the laundry detergent. So I have decided to have a wee bit of a snicky snack, even though my breakfast was so satiating that I'm honestly not hungry right now. at all. What I've been doing this week is using that macro averager tool that I showed you earlier to hit an average macros. And the last 2 days, I've actually eaten below what I theoretically should be eating to lose fat. So I wanna make sure I don't eat below it the whole week. So today, I just wanna eat a little bit extra, or at least hit what I'm supposed to be hitting, so that I make sure I'm not drastically under eating in order to lose fat. So I have a pear drizzled in peely nut butter. Peely nut butter and sliced pears is like the best combination on the planet. This is how we hit the crosswalk buttons now, since we can't touch anything. I am out on my evening walk, just gonna wander around for about an hour, get my steps in, get some movement in, probably call my mama, listen to my new audiobook, breathe, relax. You know the drill.
Oh my god, I almost died.
But I also figured it would be a perfect time to tell you guys about my general nutrition plan for fat loss, aka my calories. What I generally recommend for fat loss, and what I'm going to be sticking with too, is a 15 to 20% deficit, and starting with the more conservative 15% deficit, and then if that's not working after like a month or two, then considering increasing to about a 20% deficit. So I'm gonna be starting with a 15% deficit. Given that my theoretical maintenance calories are about 2,100, I think that brings it to 1,785-ish. So what I'm gonna do is just drop that to an even 1,750, because it's just an easier number to remember. And then as far as the macro breakdown goes, protein is the only one that I specifically want to aim for a more specific goal. So for fat loss, in order to maintain muscle while you are losing weight, so that you actually decrease your body fat percentage rather than just decrease your total weight and end up at a higher body fat percentage, you want to make sure you're eating between 0.7 and 1 gram of protein per pound of lean body mass, not total body weight. So if you're like 300 pounds, you don't need to eat 300 grams of protein. That's ridiculous. Unless you're like 300 pounds of lean mass because you're a bodybuilder or something. To be honest, I've already set a rough estimate with my protein without doing any calculations, because you don't have to be like that precise, but let me just give you an example of how you would calculate it. So right now, I'm probably approximately 20% body fat. I am 120 pounds, so 120 times 0.8 is 96 pounds, so I theoretically have 96 pounds of lean mass. So I'd want to eat at most about 96 grams of protein, and then 0.7 times that is 67 grams of protein. So anywhere in that range is going to be adequate. So I have chosen to aim for about 85 grams of protein. I like to be on the higher end of it, just because also protein is great for satiety. The more you eat, the more full you feel, the less cravings you get, so it's just helpful to like hit a higher amount of protein, but not like unnecessarily high. And then when it comes to carbs and fat, I personally prefer to eat higher-ish fat than average, just because I feel so much more satiated. And carbs, the more carbs I eat, the hungrier I get, which is great if I'm trying to be in a surplus, but not so much if I'm trying to be in a deficit. So I've set my carb goals a little bit lower than like something like MyFitnessPal or IFYM would give you, and I've increased my fat a lot, and I just find that I feel really good eating that way. And so that's gonna be the easiest for me to maintain when I'm in a deficit. So basically, when I sit down to eat, or when I sit down to cook or plan a meal, I'm going to A, prioritize protein and think, what is my protein source in this meal gonna be? And then B, prioritize fat. Hello, you're so pretty. I wish I could pet you.
Eventually.
I'm off to go eat dinner, and I'm very excited about said dinner, because when I was in school in Boston, one of my favorite places to get food was Sweetgreen. And one of my favorite things to get from Sweetgreen was the Harvest Bowl. So I would get a Harvest Bowl like once a week, and I loved it so much. But then I moved back to the West Coast. Turns out it was a regional thing. They didn't have it here, because Sweetgreen bases their bowls off of ingredients that they can source from local farms. So I was crushed, because this was like my favorite thing to eat ever. I just found out the other day that Sweetgreen on the West Coast now has Harvest Bowls. So that was my long-winded way of saying I am off to Sweetgreen to go get a Harvest Bowl and to follow through on my promise to get all my veggies in with dinner. Oh yeah, look at that delicious vegetable-packed Harvest Bowl. It's kale. It usually comes with wild rice, but they were out tonight, so I got warm quinoa. Then it has chicken, sweet potatoes, apples, almonds, goat cheese, and then I added avocado to it. Gonna watch some Mad Men while I eat this, and then I'm also having a Spindrift in the raspberry lime flavor. All right, guys, I want to take a second to show you how I am tracking my macros using my macro averager to make everything a lot easier for me as I go through this process. So as you can see here, I've put in my day 1 and day 2 macros already. Today is day 3, so we're gonna be filling that one in today. I ate below what I'm supposed to be eating yesterday and the day before, probably because the 2 days before that, as you saw at the end of my maintenance week log, were a lot higher than my maintenance. So my hunger genuinely was just a little bit lower. I wasn't like intentionally under eating below my cutting calories. So we can see that my average so far for the week is 1610 with pretty on point-ish macros, just a little bit low on carbs. Oh, I did want to show you guys, these are my current macro goals: 85 grams of protein, 141 grams of carbs, and 94 grams of fat. Again, fat and carbs, super flexible, but that's just kind of like the general idea that I'm going for. So today I want to eat more than my goal so that by the end of the week, I am on average at my goal so that I'm not under eating, or else that's also going to make fat loss more difficult. So let me throw in what I have already and see how much more I should try to eat. So far today, I hit 99 grams of protein, 130 grams of carbs, and 87 grams of fat for a total of almost 1,700 calories. So I'm 50 calories short of my goal for the average for the week, but if I'm going to hit that goal for the average, I need to go over the average. So if I could have another 200 calories maybe tonight. Let's just throw in an extra, I don't know, 40 grams of carbs and then 10 grams of fat. That brings us to 1950, which brings my average to 1723, which is pretty close to my goal. So that balances out the first part of my week a little bit better. I don't necessarily have to try to hit the average right now because it's only day 3. I could wait until my hunger actually increases to allow myself to hit that, but I don't want to like majorly undereat for 3 days in a row. So I think I'm gonna eat a little bit more. I think I'll make a hot chocolate. So this is the magic of the macro averager and why I really recommend that everyone use it, because it really shows you how insignificant your macros are day to day and how drastically you would have to overeat or undereat to make a major impact on your weekly average. If you've never considered your calories or macros over a weekly average before, this is kind of mind-blowing. So if you track at all, I recommend using it just for a week or two just to see what difference it makes. So with that being said, I need a few more calories, so I'm gonna go make a hot chocolate. Brings us to a grand total for the day. 102 grams of protein, 144 grams of carbs, and 100 grams of fat, which brings us to a grand total of 1,884 calories, which brings me to a weekly average so far of, I'm still way below average, even though I ate almost 1,900 calories today. An average of 1,700 calories, 91 grams of protein, doing solid on the protein, 124 grams of carbs, and 93 grams of fat. So yeah, everything is pretty much on point except a little bit smidge under on carbs. So tomorrow I can also eat over my goal as well. If I feel hungrier, if I feel less hungry, I will eat less. We shall see. Maybe on the last day I'll just have a feast. That's not the point of the macro averager. It's not to let you do like some massive cheat day on the last day. Not the point. However, if I have to, I'll eat a donut. I mean, I guess I'll make the sacrifice. So I can go ahead and enjoy my hot chocolate, and I'll probably have a giant pot of tea. That's how I've been enjoying ending my evenings, like an actual pot of tea, like 4 cups of tea. I love tea. And tomorrow I'll get up and do it all over again. Make sure you are subscribed and have notifications turned on by ringing that little bell. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up because it really does support me and my channel. If you have any questions about this fat loss process, how I'm approaching it, etc., please leave them down in the comments below because I feel like I kind of just scratched the surface of everything. So if you want me to talk about anything more in depth, let me know. More than happy to. Don't forget to download the Macro Averager tool if you want to. Also get my programs 20% off with the code Stay Healthy. Yay. Also apply to work with me as your holistic fitness coach. Even more yay. Please share this video with your friends, your family. Stick it on Facebook, Twitter, share it on your Instagram stories. I'll repost you if you do. And I will see you guys very soon. Bye.